Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite YouTube channel podcast. Keep that same energy podcast featuring your host Justin P. And my MVP co-host, the villain, the vigilante. I know I'm talking about Mr. Maurice Savage Jr. Today we got a special guest, my guy Big Jack. He's be on the They Be Talking podcast with him and Maurice. Y'all can check him out on Wednesdays at 8, and I think Thursdays at 8 too. They be on Facebook Live. You know, great stuff. Total relationship, just stuff in general, family stuff. Episode 238 for the audio version. For the audio version, season 6, episode 6. The links are right there below in the description for those who can't watch live. And right underneath of that is myself and my recent social media platform. I have all platforms: Twitter. I think he's trying to get Twitter. So yeah.
You're right.
Further ado, here's the man, the myth, the legend, my co-host, your co-host, Mr. Maurice Savage. Yay!
Wait, man, what's good, people? What's good, people? As always, man, it feels good to be back doing it with Big Bro. And of course, we got a special guest, Big Brother Jack. You feel me? You know, I do a podcast with him every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. They Be Talking a podcast, which is features me, him, and of course the lovely, beautiful, the Lady Q. And as JP was talking about, man, we pretty much talk about every single thing: relationships, sports, entertainment, real life things, and everything that needs to be talked about. But before I get into my introduction, as I always do, of course, we're gonna hit you with some emotions. You know what I'm saying? Comes to sports, I'm feeling this shit, and JP and Jack, I'm pretty sure they feeling this shit too. Talking too fast. And then, of course, man, we definitely opinionated when it comes to sports because what we say is matter. But none of that shit matters unless we hit you with the fact.
That's a fact, Jack. Before we get started, Big Jack, anything you want to say? You want to put out there, promotional stuff, anything?
First things first, I appreciate y'all for having me. Man, I love talking sports. That's my thing. Definitely in my bag about last night's games. I can't believe it, but I had my own theories on that. Man, Fox kind of briefly spoke about it, but yeah, man, it's a rough road ahead to the playoffs. So this bye week came at the perfect time.
Exactly.
I completely agree. All right, you want to do the honors, Maurice?
Oh shit! Well, let's go jump into it. Okay, we everybody that watching the show already know what time it is, man. We're getting to the nitty gritty of the season, where it's time to make those picks. And when I say makes those picks, give me your MVP pick, or who do you think are the top 3 guys that will be fighting for the MVP trophy when it comes down to the end of the season? And of course, we're gonna start off with you, Jack.
My front runners. Being unbiased after last night, Saquon definitely catapulted himself to the front of the line after last night. Of course, I would never right the ship on Lamar. Lamar is still he's now in the second seat to me, just because he was just unwavering. I mean, he's been doing it all season, regardless of the critics and everything. Like saying the numbers don't lie. Josh Allen, man, like that guy is. He's at a high trajectory in terms of like quarterback play. A lot of things, we heard all the comparisons between, him and Lamar and all that kind of stuff. But like, I think he's his own entity. He's grown into that, and I think he's unquestionably leading that Bills offense. You know what I mean, in terms of like explosive plays down the field. So I would say in that order: Saquon, Lamar 2, and Josh Allen. Just honorable mention, I would definitely say Henry because I mean he's still on pace to be a 1,800-yard rusher this season. So. You can't leave him out, but I don't think he would have to go over 1,800 in order to get it. Let's be totally clear about that. He would definitely have to go over 1,800 to get it, but he's my honorable mention. But yeah, in that order: Saquon, Lamar, and Josh Allen.
All right, go ahead, JP.
Not to sound like a tape recorder, but I agree. So I ain't gonna be too brief for this. Saquon, like I said, Josh Allen. My honorable mention, Derrick Henry offensive player of the year for me. That's why I'm gonna put him in. My honorable mention. Let's see.
Turn the heat off.
I had to just beat them 3, honestly, because they don't do it with these guys. But I'm also saying him for the offensive player of the year. That's my they my front
runner. Okay. For me, I ain't gonna lie. Jack, you gave a great speech for Josh Allen. I definitely said this on the show at the beginning of the season. JP, you can vouch for that. I felt like in the beginning of the season, Josh Allen was the front runner for MVP, especially the first 5 games in the season, even with Lamar and Derrick Henry doing what they're doing. But I ain't gonna lie, Jack, you convinced me again. I didn't look at it like that as Saquon Barkley surpassing him. But now, looking at the game, seeing what happened, seeing that Philadelphia literally counted on this guy. We first of all, no Devontae Smith. The fact that A.J. Brown did not have a major game and didn't score. The tight ends really didn't do anything. I mean, of course, one of the tight ends scored, but it wasn't nothing really major stats-wise except for Saquon Barkley going over 100 yards. And we already know Jalen Hurts didn't wow us at all. So I would definitely agree with you on that, where Saquon Barkley has moved up in the front runner as far as MVP. I got him still at second because I feel like this. Until Lamar Jackson gets better wide receivers, Lamar Jackson is the best player in the NFL to me.
Hey, I have to disagree with you in terms of better wide receivers because I don't think the problem is our receivers.
No. That's no. I'm not making that. I'm not making that debate that the problem is receivers. The debate that I'm making to prove that Lamar Jackson,
get him like the AJ Browns and the Jamar Chases.
And what I'm saying is,
okay, I was gonna say because I think we definitely stepped up in that department. So okay, I got your point there.
And basically what I'm saying is, Lamar Jackson is putting up these MVP numbers, and he doesn't have any of these type wide receivers. I mean, for God's sakes, just think about it. Our number one main targets is of course, the running game, and then our 2 tight ends get looked at and get more attention than Zay Flowers and the rest of these guys. Because if you looked at it lately, these guys have been double teaming Mark Andrews, which we already know, and they definitely been double teaming Isaiah Likely. He hasn't slowed down and lost a step. When I don't see him making catches, I already know what time it is. And you already saw it last night a couple times where they passed it to Likely. He had 2 defenders on him every single time. So the point that I'm saying is that the fact that Lamar Jackson is putting up MVP numbers, and he has yet to ever have a AJ Brown or DeAndre Hopkins, and he still put up these numbers while all these other quarterbacks have top wide receivers, except for what you made the point of Josh Allen. Josh Allen is really doing it right now with really nobody. I mean, and I want to give Amari Cooper his credit.
Nah, Al Shakur is a dog, bro.
Who?
Shakir, number 10. He's a dog, bro. He just don't get the flowers because of everybody was so used to Diggs being there. He was in that shadow for me. Like he's a dog, bro. I gotta give Buddy his props.
Oh, now hold on. I gotta make sure I say my words right. Am I saying it like, you feel me, they trash over there? What I'm saying is Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, they look the same. They not passing to the same guy every time. They splitting the ball up to about 6 to 7 different receivers almost every game. And it's like prime example, every game is not Mark Andrews, every game is not Zay Flowers. And when you watch a Bills game, every game is not Coleman. Number 0 Coleman, I know he's nice. Every game is not Coleman. Every game is not Josh Dotson. Every game is not James Cook. But the consistent thing that we see is Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson showing up every day, no matter who they passing the ball to, no matter if the running game working or not. So that's really what I'm saying right there. Where to me,
pass by committee.
Yeah, to me, it's out of them 2 who I think should be the MVP, because what they doing right now is phenomenal. And I mean, I believe the next time the Bills or the Ravens, and I ain't gonna be too long, the next time the Bills or the Ravens was to play the Chiefs, I got the Bills or the Ravens beating those guys. All right. Anything y'all want to add before we go to the next one?
The Bills already beat the Chiefs, and man, I celebrated for that. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they played again in the playoffs, I'm going with the Bills again, and the Ravens, I'm going with the Ravens by far. All right. The next one. Who do you believe is your rookie of the year, or is there a top 3 candidates for rookie of the year in your book? Go ahead, Jack.
Offensively, no question, man. Daniels in Washington. Mm-hmm. Listen to me. At the quarterback spot, I think everybody knows how hard it is to make that adjustment. Coming from college to the pros, this kid has been written off completely. Mm-hmm. Degree of difficulty in that offense doesn't seem like it's any. He definitely reads pretty well. He still makes his rookie mistakes here and there, but in terms of explosive plays, he's not as rattled. He's not afraid to stand on the barrel of a linebacker coming to the pocket, to escape the pocket. I think, without question, hands down, the best offensive rookie is him. I just watching him week to week. Now, true test. His game, he played against Pittsburgh. He got battered up quite a bit. But they almost beat Pittsburgh, literally coming down to a rookie mistake on defense when he wasn't on the field. It wasn't his fault. Mm-hmm. But he scratched, fought, and clawed all the way in that game. That kid is amazing, man. I gotta give Shorty his prop. He's the best offensive rookie in the league. I mean, unless y'all know somebody better.
Go ahead, JP.
Jaden definitely is worthy, but I'm gonna go a different route because this guy got his team to the same record, and they wasn't even expected to be good, just like the Commanders. I gotta go Bo Nix, man.
Ooh,
He's solid.
Bo Nix. Like I said, I like to be different sometimes, Jack. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, Jaden's definitely playing, but Bo Nix.
Oh no, he a dog too. You're right, though. I didn't even. He did come to mind, but in terms of just like certain variables, Denver has a better offensive line than Washington, so it's more impressive to me.
And to get back at you, the Commanders got a little bit better receivers than Broncos, so
it balances out. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, but 12 touchdowns, the one interception the last couple of weeks.
Ooh.
Now it's the 7th seed, man, and they hot, man. They putting up points. They defense rolling. We the only team that we like spanked them. Every other game they been in it. They should have beat KC. The block field goal bullshit. Yeah, so Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, for me, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Bo Nix. He wasn't on my list, but I gotta give a shout out. And the funny thing is, he should have been on my list because I talked highly about the Broncos after what I saw they did in the preseason. So I fucked up on that one. Before I give it to the guy I want to give it to, I gotta give a shout out to the tight end off the Raiders, Brock Ryers.
Right.
Yeah, he is putting up Ron Gronkowski numbers right now. And the only reason why we're not saying that is because the Raiders trash. I'm not going to stay on him too long. The next guy, right now, if you look at the numbers, the best rookie wide receiver is Malik Neighbors. The only thing he ain't got is the touchdowns. But yards and receptions, he got it. And check this out. If he didn't drop as many passes, he would have more yards and touchdowns and receptions. But by far, man, I gotta agree with you, Jack. It's Jaden Daniels. I mean, to me, and I said this and I hit your phone right away, JP, when I saw this shit. And I probably hit your phone too, Jack. I said the Washington Commanders stole the Baltimore Ravens playbook. You can't tell me nothing different. You can't tell me nothing different. The quarterback, the reason why I'm saying it, just hear me out. Go look at what Jalen Daniels looked like. His body frame, the way his towel is, the way he wiped his hands off, it looked like Lamar Jackson. Hold on. Derrick Henry is bigger than Brian Robinson, but both of them are big running backs from which school? Alabama.
I knew you were going to say that.
Both teams run the ball. Both teams got the Commanders got a decent little tight end over there too on the low. I forgot what his name is. They got a decent little tight end.
They got Zach
Ertz.
Yeah, thank you, fellas. And then on top of that, we saw what Terry McLaurin did last night on the Titans. We should have been a better blowout game. So to me, I gotta give it to him because I mean, don't you know how we saw Cam Newton and then it was a long time and then we saw Lamar Jackson? Yo, we just seen Lamar Jackson come in the league almost 5 or 6 years ago. And 5 or 6 years later, now we got Jalen Daniels who look exactly damn near like Lamar Jackson. So for me, you feel me? I'm going with Jalen Daniels by far. But go ahead, Jack. What you about to add?
No, when you said that, like, there are definitely some similarities. No question about it.
That's
definitely similarities. But in terms of Washington, it sounds crazy me saying this because I'm doing through a Ravens fan. It's not a shot at my team. But when it comes down to like explosive plays, like down the field explosive plays, they got us in that department, bro. It's not even close, bro. Like our rushing attack is what makes us scary, which is why we're able to get these things off because we, without question, have the scariest backfield in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So when that comes into play, you have two weapons that you have to watch, and then he's able just to throw the ball out. It just, man, it just makes it a little more scary. So, I mean, in that department though, they legit got us, bro. Like I got to get that up to them, yo. That's where they're hands down just better than us. We're just more disciplined. I would say that's what we have with them because their team is, if I'm not mistaken, I think their team is much younger. It's like the average age for our team versus theirs is different. Something like that. I know, but they're the younger team. So some things are to be expected, but good God, man. Like sometimes it's like lightning in the bottle with them jokers, man.
That is true. Anything you want to add, JP?
The piggyback off what Jack said, y'all both gonna laugh at this. The reason why they guys in the apartment, because Cliff Kingsbury is not an alcoholic. Talk monkeys.
Bro.
He be showing up. I'm gonna tell you a quick story, Jack. You might have heard because you know people like I know, and they were in Georgia, right? When they won those 2 championships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A local little bar tavern down there in Athens. But a co-source of mine, Steve White, And two of us told me like, the owner Kirk Smart to come get his ass up there because he was there all night drinking and celebrating, which is fine. But you should not be that fucked up where they gotta call your boss so they can get you. So they ever since then they call him Todd Drunken Monkey, Jack, and that stuff. Every time you see some fucked up calls, you know what to blame it on, and that's why he sit his ass in that booth too.
Hey, but listen, I'm not trying to draw on this topic, but on yesterday, Maurice made a post in regards to Justin Tucker, and I said it wasn't only him. That's what I was referring to. Let it be known as a Ravens fan to all Flock Nation. From the time that we hired Todd Monken, I was thoroughly disappointed in getting him. Not saying he's not don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's not a good coordinator. I'm not saying that. But I didn't want him. I wanted somebody that was proven. I was on that Eric Bieniemy bandwagon. I ain't even gonna hold you. Cliff Kingsbury name definitely came to mind. But at that time, he didn't have any interest in getting back into the league. He had left the Cardinals, and he made it known that he didn't want to do anything with football at that moment. I think he was more so waiting on that right call, which for him, that was the right call. But I think the Ravens kind of have a little history of doing that. Like, we'll get somebody that's like good enough. We don't ever go for like the alpha. We don't go for the cut the head off the dragon. We go.
John Harbaugh don't want nobody that could possibly push his ass up the door, but that's just me.
I can agree to that. I can definitely agree to that.
All right. So part two of the this question: who is your defensive rookie of the year?
I like Gerard Verse from the Rams. I think in terms of DBs, I mean, he has great ball skills. I mean, and he ain't afraid to take. I'm gonna just say this.
You know, Gerard Verse is an edge rusher, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
You know, he's an edge rusher. That's the kid that played at Florida State, Gerard Verse. That's the DN.
What I'm telling you, like, if you look at he has good coverage skills. Like, they have him drop back. Like, he's athletic is basically what I'm trying to say. In short.
Okay.
But like, that's why I had to correct you, Jackson. Oh, DB. But it probably just.
I feel like out of all the defenders, in terms of how today's game is, I don't mean no disrespect to nobody. Y'all know a lot of these guys are kind of soft. Like, we're gonna keep it a band. That's why a lot of the OGs that retire from the game say they don't even watch the sport. He carries a old school mentality to him. Like, he in there trying to run through your face mask every play. But I'm more enamored by his athleticism because he kind of puts you in the mind frame of what's his name that's in New Orleans now? Chase Young.
Yeah, Chase.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Athletic ability wise, he reminds me of him in terms of how he's able to move. He closes fast, and I don't see anybody like he actually affects the game for the Rams. Like, he's not bad.
All right, what about you, JP?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think. Like I said, Jared Verse has been playing pretty good, but I'm trying to think who really has been killing like that. I'll go with the kid from the Colts, Mala Layatu. I think I said his name right.
Yeah, don't he play linebacker?
Outside linebacker,
yeah. He cool.
Yeah, that he run pretty well. So that'll be my guy for defensive rookie of the year.
Well, for me, I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna pick Jarrett. You feel me? Because of what he doing. I play with the Rams on Madden. Just to let people know that. You feel me? Because I can't be cheesy with the Ravens. However, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That boy Chop Robinson from Penn State. That boy on fire, yo. He lead the league in was it pressures, and he lead the league in basically getting past his man all the time. And the dude only got 3.5 sacks. Like, he literally has an impact on the game. And I already know y'all saw the game last week where he had like 2 sacks and a forced fumble and all that shit. Boy, been going crazy. And I like the little thing he got with the chop. Like, I ain't gonna lie, man. I give credit where it's due. But overall, if Jared might win it, but for me, I would love to see Chop Robinson get that award. I think if he win that award, it would boost the defense of Miami Dolphins. And we talking about the Miami Dolphins being a way better defensive team next year. Okay, let's start off with this right here. Give me your rankings of who the top 5 teams is in the NFC. Who are your top 5 teams in the NFC? Go ahead, Jack.
I got Lions at one. The funny thing is, in this actual order that I'm naming them in, this is the same as the NFL power rankings without me looking at it. I'm almost positive I might be maybe one team off, but definitely top 3 in this order: Lions, Philly, and Minnesota. My 4 is Green Bay, and my 5th is Washington. And I give it to Green Bay because I feel like their offense is more complete because they have more veterans on it. I give that to them. But yeah, I think that's the top 5 for me.
I ain't mad at it. What about you, JP?
Eagles, Lions, Vikings.
So you got Eagles over Lions?
Only because they're a little bit more complete. The Lions' defenses, especially about Aiden Hutchinson, and the Eagles, you gotta think they've been deep in the playoffs. Minus last year, because they were hurt for the last couple of years. The Lions are now starting to, get a taste of that. So the Eagles,
that's actually the reason why I have the Lions over the Eagles. That's interesting, but that's another conversation. I like that though. I like that take.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right there. Eagles, Lions. I'm gonna go Vikings at 3. Packers at 4, like 3 of the top 4 teams on the same conference, same division. So that's the Packers. I'll go with Seattle Seahawks.
Wow, I ain't gonna lie. I like that stretch with the Seattle. I ain't gonna lie. They could be scary. They could be very scary and sneaky. But for me, I got the Lions at number 1. Because of what they've been doing. They've been the most consistent team, I believe, probably out the whole entire NFL, besides, of course, what the Chiefs are doing. Even with their loss, they played good. They just lost that game. And then 2, I ain't gonna lie. The Eagles, I'm not gonna lie. If the Eagles keep playing exactly the way they played against the Ravens, you feel me? Minus, I told you they didn't have Devontae Smith and shit like that. Yo, we could be talking about Eagles and Lions in the NFC Championship because the Eagles definitely look complete. They got the defense. I ain't gonna lie. That's another thing I wish I would have mentioned. The Eagles have like 2 rookie corners. Those guys who was the dude. One dude tackled Derrick Henry straight up by himself yesterday. Like they got some dogs over there. You feel me? And I thought they was going to fall off because we already know Darius Slay got hurt. But they inserted these 2 rookies, and the Eagles secondary hasn't lost a step. So I got the Eagles at 2. This way I might differ with you guys. I got the Commanders at 3. I'm not going to lie. If the Commanders continue like that little hot streak is when they were to play exactly like that, yo, I could see us one day having a Washington Commanders versus the Baltimore Ravens Super Bowl. I can see it. I would love it. That would be incredible.
That would take a lot, Fox. Like that's not a shot at the Commanders, but they have a lot of holes that they need to patch before they talk about even a deep playoff run. No question, this year they're going to. Okay, I'll say this: the Eagles are going to run away with the division. Earlier in the season, I'm gonna say like week 6, when they was on their streak and everything, going through everything, I was picking the Commanders to win their division. But the Eagles have been consistent, and I will not take that away from them. So I think that the Eagles are definitely going to take their division, but the Commanders are definitely going to have to, kick that door in because they still got another meeting with them. They've only played them once this season. But I think Philly's going to get them twice, and that's only because Philly, to the points that JP laid out. Now, to your point, I want to say this before I, move on and we go to the next subject. To your point about the Eagles over the Lions, the reason you pick the Eagles is the reason I picked against them is because I feel like Detroit's just more hungry. And I think the coaching factor, Sirianni versus Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's an old school, like that gritty, like he infuses the team with that, and they'll run through a wall for that guy. Not saying the Eagles won't do that for Sirianni, but if it comes down to who's the tougher coach, I'm going with Dan Campbell. And them guys, like, legit play for that dude. Like, sure enough, like, if it came down to it, if they had to throw hands for Buddy, they would throw hands for Buddy. Like, he just that kind of guy. So I think that's why I picked the Lions as the number 1 team. But I'm not mad at the Washington pick at number 3 behind those 2 teams. I'm definitely not mad at that either.
Okay. And this is who I have. And I had it at first. If we'd had this question a couple weeks ago, I would have had the Vikings at 4. But the Vikings went through some little things, and I seen the Packers. They turned things around once Jordan Love came back. I mean, I thought they was going to fall off. And here go a quick side note, and I want to make sure, because for the audience that's going to be watching this later, the whole rap was that running backs were done in this league. Right now, the top 3 rushers are 3 running backs that was on teams that gave up on them. Saquon Barkley is the leading rusher. What is it? Derrick Henry at number 2 and Josh Jacobs is number 3. So I'm looking at what they're doing, and then I ain't gonna lie. I think free agent pickup of the year is like Xavier McKinney. What, this nigga got an interception every week? Every week? I mean, so I got the Packers at 4, and then of course the Vikings at 5, which is a very sneaky team. I kind of wanted to sneak the Seahawks in there, but I was just thinking to myself, right now, if the Seahawks play the Vikings, I think the Vikings defense would just get a little bit much better of Geno Smith than what they would do with Sam Darnold, because he definitely looked like he's relived. He can fuck around win comeback player of the year. He definitely could. All right.
I can see that, yeah.
Okay. We'll start. Matter of fact, JP, we'll start with you and then go to Jack. Give me your top 5 teams in the AFC, because this is gonna be interesting.
AFC, of course, the Chiefs. You got to give it to them. Hate it or love it. Y'all can hear me, right? So make sure y'all can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, Chiefs. Bills, of course. I hate to fucking say it, the Pittsburgh fucking Steelers. It's got like venom put on my mouth, but I gotta be a football guy. Like I gotta put my bias aside. So those 3. Let's go with the Texans and then the Ravens.
You got the Ravens 5th, or you just saying names?
The Texans lead in the division, so I gotta put it in front of them.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Jack. It's on you.
I have Buffalo number 1.
Ooh.
It's gonna hurt me to say this, but I got Pittsburgh right behind them.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kansas City 3, Baltimore 4.
He gonna have to say about this, Jack, because he watched the show. He definitely.
Say it again.
I said my cousin, a diehard Bills fan. I'm already knowing Dre. He gonna definitely be pissed off about you having him at 3.
Hey, he can be mad, but I mean, it is what it is, man. Yeah. But Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Baltimore, and Houston at 5. Reasoning for that order, again, what I stated early on in the show about Josh Allen, like he's playing out of his mind. But the thing that's going to have them in the head of longevity, their defense is coming alive at the right time. Like they're playing, they got the cohesion. Matt Milano finally fully healthy. Infusion with Ed Oliver, Gregory Rousseau. I'm sorry?
Miller ramping up.
And that's what I'm saying. Like at the right time, health is key at this juncture of the season. Once you start getting hot, you build that momentum and you got to go into somebody else's house, or if it's a hot team and they got to come in your house. I don't think home field advantage matters as much as you used to in yesteryear because of how athletes are. So a team like Buffalo, if you got to go on Orchard Park, take your hard hat and your lunch pail because they might hit you in the fucking mouth and it might be over early. So Buffalo definitely at the number 1 spot. Kansas City falls to 3. I can't stand Kansas City, but I think that because they're winning, that hides all the blemishes that they definitely have on offense. First of all, without Isaiah Pacheco, you're not the same team. So your rushing attack is running back by committee. That's why they brought back Kareem Hunt, which is not a bad back, but he's not Isaiah Pacheco.
Sure.
But also, as far as your receivers, that's why they went and brought in Hopkins. Who'd have thought that you would have troubles out of your receiving core when you're one of the best, like more prolific offenses, quote unquote, in the league? But I think I give all the credit to Andy Reid. I kind of sort of got into a debate with a coworker a couple of weeks ago when we were just having this talk about how the Chiefs don't look like the normal Chiefs. But it's something that I've been saying the entire time. Patrick Mahomes has tremendous arm talent, but it doesn't take away from the fact that I think he's a systematic quarterback. And what I mean by that is, could he be the same quarterback if he had to play for the Dallas Cowboys or the Seattle Seahawks or hell, any other team in the league that don't have Andy Reid?
Yeah.
So I mean, and I say that with respect to the game, but that's not a biased thing because I'm not a fan of Mahomes. But in terms of what the Chiefs are doing, they're struggling. And if there's any testament to it, the first, I think it was 5 or 6 games, literally came down to a call or non-call. Like they didn't have a whole bunch of within their 10-1. They haven't had any like significant like blowout wins. They haven't blown anybody out. Your normal Chiefs, you're used to seeing them by the second half, it's already 28-0 or 28-6 or 3 or whatever the case may be. So they definitely have some things going on that maybe unbeknownst to us to the naked eye, but for football guys that understand the game, we know what's up. You know what I mean? So yeah, the Chiefs are definitely third in the pecking order. Like I said, I have them ranked just above us at 4, and Houston rounds it out at 5.
Well, first of all, I want to give you a shout out on that because you made me think deeper on the Andy Reid tip where, that nigga might be really a quarterback whisperer. Look what he did with Donovan McNabb. Won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Hold on. Was that with Nick Foles? No, right?
No, it was Nick Foles. Nick Foles stepped in for
Carson Wentz.
Wentz, yes. I couldn't remember his name, yes.
Okay, so I mean, and then we already saw what he did with Alex Smith. You feel me? Damn near had him looking like one of the best quarterbacks. You feel me? During his time, so I gotta give you credit on that. For me, I'm just basing this shit off the record. You feel me? On the first pick, I'm going with the Chiefs. Until somebody knock him off. It's just like Brock Lesnar. I mean, I'm tired of seeing the champion, but he's the champion. I mean, we gotta call it what it is until somebody knock him the fuck off. After that, I'm trying to tell you, the only team that I worry about, and I say this everywhere I go, the only team I worry about in the AFC is the Chiefs. So at number 2, I got the Baltimore Ravens. When the Baltimore Ravens is on that shit and on fire, you can't stop them. Nobody wants to tackle Derrick Henry. Nobody wants to chase Zay Flowers' ass all the time. And I ain't gonna lie, no disrespect, Lamar, you missed Zay Flowers on one of them out routes. You feel me? That probably could have won us the game if we'd have drove down the field. But nobody wants to go against both of them tight ends. Come on, I think we're probably the only team in the league where both tight ends require a double team. That's crazy right then and there. So I got the Ravens there, and then we already know when the Ravens defense get to smoking, they get to smoking. I ain't gonna lie, my favorite game so far defensively is the game we played against the Bucs. The way how Baker Mayfield came in there hot, you would think that he would be the one to play spoiler in this, that, and the third, and that defense stepped up. It got turnovers, it got key stops. They didn't score no real extra points till the game was over, which is called a cleanup minute. So I got Ravens right there. Number 3, I gotta go with the Buffalo Bills because no matter who you put out there, Josh Allen makes it happen. They never had a consistent running game. They always been switching running backs in and out. We already know wasn't Singletary, wasn't all that. Cooks, he basically on the team because they thought that he doesn't have it anymore, but he's still getting the job done to a certain extent. Tight ends, this, that, and the third. And then back then the secondary on that defense. They got what was the 2 safeties they had?
Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer.
They got rid of them, and they still playing good, as you were just talking about Jack Foles in the backfield on that defense. And then, as you just said, man, Von Miller, he came alive. I don't know what happened. I thought Von Miller was going to be that pass rusher that went off in the sunset like a Clay Matthews after he won a Super Bowl. But no, he's showing that he still got juice in the tank. And then, of course, I got to go with the Steelers. I wanted the Steelers to fail. I'm saying this. I wanted the Steelers to fail, and I don't mean to sound as a crazy sports fan, but this I wanted. Even though right now Russell Wilson is successful doing what he's doing, I wanted Justin Fields to have that success. Even though I never want to see the Steelers do good, I wanted Justin Fields to be doing that shit. However, I'm rooting for Russell Wilson to fail. Man, he got these boys looking good. They doing that. They doing that thing. They actually beat us in the game with no touchdowns, nothing but field goals. And you got to get yourself in field goal range. It's not all penalties. So I got to give credit to. And then I ain't gonna lie, the scary young team is the Texans. I think the Texans will probably be the team that play the Ravens or Chiefs in the AFC Championship and lose. But I think the Texans should be definitely be looked at as number 5. All right, next one, and we're gonna start off with you, Jack. What's your recap and your thoughts on the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight?
Man, it was a money grab. Like, let's just call it what it is. 20 million bands. That's a good reason to go in there and get beat on a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but anybody with a brain and eyeballs seen that program and know what was really up. Now, let's be clear. We've been watching YouTube. We've been watching social media, all them training videos. Mike looked clean, crisp, fast, like the old Mike, and got in the ring and looked like a 60-year-old man. Stop. Cut the cap. Stop the cap. In the second round where he kind of peppered Jake up a little bit, and like classic Mike, he ended up on the side of him, didn't finish with the uppercut. Come on, bro. The one thing I do know as an athlete, period, it don't even have to just be relegated to boxing. Your skills, even though they start diminishing, how you do anything is how you do everything. That doesn't change even well into your old age. And old habits do die hard. So you ain't gonna tell me that Mike had that opportunity and would have knocked his brains into the second row. Come on, man, miss me with that. It was a money grab. I personally don't think that Mike should have done it because now you exploit one of our legends, which has been done enough. I mean, we done seen The Hangover. People make jokes about him and Evander and biting the ear and all that kind of stuff. It's enough ridicule for a legend. Don't keep trying to stain the man's legacy by putting him in there with a 27-year-old or how old Jake Paul is. Put him in there with a 27-year-old that we know in our heart of hearts he can beat. But it's about changing the narrative. Because think about it this way: the youngest member of my family, my nephew, he's 6. By the time he gets to be my age, history will literally say that Jake Paul was a good boxer. This dude is not a boxer. That's disrespectful to the sport.
You're not lying.
That's disrespectful. You know what I mean? To somebody that's not in the know, they only know what's here present day.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful. And I don't want you to do that I don't want it to be done at all, but to do it on the back of Mike Tyson, who is definitely, in my opinion, the second greatest boxer of all time.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't agree with that. But yeah, it was definitely a money grab, and yeah, Jake Paul should have got his ass whooped by that old man.
What about you, JP?
To piggyback a little bit what Jack said, that definitely was a money grab, in my opinion. From what I've been told, there's no confirmation on this, just remnants from what I've heard. That was in the clause, the contract clause, whatever, they said Mike couldn't throw no uppercuts to what you alluded to, no haymakers, no basically told a power puncher just to
a no knockout clause is what they call it. He's had several of them in his fighting career. Jake Paul been doing this.
Right. So basically,
what's the point of fighting?
Right. That's what I say.
Exactly.
Power puncher just to go ahead and spar, basically. Just time to go ahead and spar. So I didn't really see it real time because I fell asleep during the middle of the women's fight, which was a great fight. So I woke up and watched majority of the rounds. I'm like, yeah, this shit would look like Mike. This was just in it just to get that 20 million go about his business because he definitely could have floored him a couple times. But yeah, I did sum it all up. It is what it is. It was I guess entertaining to watch. But like Jack said, man, Mike don't need you no more. Like I say, at worst, she's top 5 greatest boxers of all time. You don't need to call messed up limb.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I definitely agree with everything that you guys were saying. I think the Mike Tyson training videos really fucked it up for the whole fight because you can't sit up there having Mike Tyson look like a fucking well-oiled machine. It had even young people and even people his age getting back in the gym, getting in shape. And there's no way Mike Tyson is that sharp in practice. He's that sharp in practice, but in a real life, he's not gonna be as sharp in that thing. And I ain't gonna lie, I found it definitely weird with him biting the gloves. And then when I start hearing more things about it, that he was basically doing that to restrain himself from knocking the guy out, like that's crazy right there. And again, you feel me? The fact that it's a cause, whatever the fuck you want to say, that you cannot knock me out. Why are we fighting? And why do I have that in my contract? But I get to brag if I beat you and knock you out. You can't knock me out. But I get to brag that I beat you and knock you out. And as you said, Jack, which is definitely, I ain't gonna lie, Jack, you didn't say it like initially, but what you said was definitely disrespectful. That is really probably going to look at that Logan Paul, Jake, whatever his fucking name is, fuck him.
Jake.
Yeah.
He might be looked at as one of the greatest boxers of all time because of the people that he's fighting. It's going because you already know when you go to Google, right? It don't show you who you fought. The first thing that pop up is your name, your profession, and your record. So they're gonna be thinking like, yo, he's really great in this, that, and third. But the whole time I've been saying from the beginning, all he's doing is fighting old retired guys, fighting people who are mixing sports and shit like that. He won't legitimately fight a real guy. And I've been saying this for the longest time.
Yo, from that first pay-per-view that he put on where it was like the Legends Only something, whatever that was, I was saying this since then, bro. Like somebody like him, they don't put any context to anything. We live in a generation where a person only has to do something one time, and these young kids, he the GOAT, or he the not. Like your body of work don't have to be anything for somebody to crown you king or the GOAT or whatever the case is. So with that being said, somebody like Jake Paul, basically, popularity is the new currency, basically, like because he's a YouTuber and this, that, and the third. There don't have to be no context to who he fought. All you know is they say, he fought and beat Mike Tyson. History won't say Somebody with a brain in their head. I'm talking about the kids of this generation. History won't say that Mike Tyson was 50 plus years old, almost 60 years old, and really could have took him to the deep water and drowned him if he'd like to. History won't tell you that. All they know is Jake Paul beat Mike Tyson. That's all. That's just going to be the end all be all. And it makes no sense because, again, people like us, we know better.
And before we go to the next topic, I'm glad that you did bring that up, Jack. I am tired of that GOAT term that we just crowning motherfuckers just because they just did some of this. Like, we just are going to erase the history and all the others who did it before.
Exactly.
Just the way you did it and probably even better. Like, I hate that shit. Like, not like I said, everybody goes to that. Like, I hate the fact that Carmelo Anthony's son, his favorite player of all time is Paul George. How and why?
Different era. A different era. He never saw MJ. He probably got a glimpse of Kobe. He probably got a glimpse of LeBron because at the end of the day, most boys idolize their father. So you know he was watching Melo over Bron. So for him to say his favorite player is Paul George, he played during the same time as his dad and had some epic battles against his dad. So it's not far-fetched.
It's just that Paul George didn't do enough, especially in our book. And I'll say in our 3 books, we know Paul George hasn't done enough. He's a good
I will say this, in terms of skill, he was that. I'll say this, people like Bron and Melo, Paul George's name come up when they say who's a hard guard, who's a hard person to guard or something like that. His name do come up for a skill, but I know what you mean as far as like accolades, like what has he done in terms of his overall body work. I totally get you on that. Yes.
All right, so next up we'll start with you again.
Trap he do it every time. He go off, he make an example, we turn it to a topic, but go ahead.
Yeah, my bad. All right, so next one, Jack, go ahead. Give me your top 12 teams in college football right now. And it don't matter how you rank it. Give me your top 12.
Top 12. Oregon, Ohio State.
Okay.
Texas, Penn State. Notre Dame. Miami.
Okay.
I'm a fan, but that's not a bias. That's actually what the rankings were as of last week, because we definitely took an L. But
they 10-2. I ain't mad at you. That's a good record.
Tennessee, SMU. I'm gonna say Alabama don't get my no. I'm gonna say Ole Miss is better than Alabama this year.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah. Because I haven't been too keen on Alabama, so that's you got 10. 2 more.
Alabama and I'm gonna say BYU, man.
I like that pick. That's different. I like
BYU really been balling this year. Like, matter of fact, it been teeter-totter all year between SMU, Miami, and BYU.
True. I give you that.
They've been yacking all year. You ain't lying about that, Jack.
They've been knocking on that. I mean, they in that bush. They talking about strength of schedule, but my God, man, when you watch they call them the New Pony Express, SMU. Them brokers do be running that rock, bro. They explosive. It's like you cannot really contain what they do down there. I give them their props. And we went from Power 5 to Power 4, so them motherfuckers is in the ACC with us.
Yes, they is. He a Miami fan, so he know. So go ahead, JP, get your top 12.
Sorry for interruptions, everybody. Goddamn. Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, Notre Dame, McCain's. They might drop us because we lost to Syracuse, but right now
that hurt too, man.
Still it, man. We got 21-0. Georgia, Tennessee, SMU, Indiana, Boise State, and I'm gonna go Ole Miss over Clemson for that 12 spot.
I ain't gonna lie. Both of y'all say Ohio State too. Y'all must really like them. Y'all really fuck with them.
Oregon. I mean, because they got 2 losses, but still, one was against a good Oregon team, the other one was just in a good rivalry game. So,
like, I think that's the thing when it comes down to college football, when they start making the power rankings, things do be a little slighted. That's no different than the NFL. Your division always going to play you tough. Records don't matter at that point. So it could be the worst team in the country, but if it's your rival, they're going to get up to play y'all, and that game could very well go down to the wire. So if you take
that perfect example.
That's the loss that hurt me the most, because I just knew we was going to come back, but that's another story. I don't want to get off topic. That hurt, bro. That would hurt.
All right. For me, just like y'all, I got Oregon at number 1. Number 2, I got Texas. Number 3, besides Alabama, I've watched every single Penn State game this year. Every single one of them. I got Penn State at 3. I got Notre Dame at 4. You already know how I feel about Georgia. Even though I hate them boys because I'm Alabama, Georgia got probably, I think, the best defense in the league. I got Georgia at 5. I got number 6, I got Tennessee. Number 7, I got Ohio State. I hate for me to say it. At number 7, I got SMU. At 8, I got Boise State. You feel me? I ain't hear y'all say them. Number 9.
I put them at 12.
Oh,
yeah, I got him at 11.
I put 11. I put them at 11 as well. That's Ole Miss at 12.
At number 9, I got ASU. At number 10, I'm gonna go with Miami because they been knocking shit, getting this shit done. Number 11, I'm gonna surprise y'all with this one. I'm going with UNLV. I'm going with them boys right there. And then
they explosive, bro. They are. But yeah, I'm on the fence about them. But that's not a bad pick. I ain't mad at that because they definitely got explosive offense.
Yeah, I wanted to give somebody a stretch, and then we just bring. I ain't gonna lie.
You up 10 spots. I got watch UNLV game.
Yeah. You see, they 10-2, and then the last one on my list, I gotta go BYU. I'm not gonna lie. We just had a conversation about them. These boys are something dangerous, and I ain't gonna lie. I can't wait till the playoffs start. And one last thing. What is the game that you guys are looking forward to see next week?
Texas, Georgia. You keep it simple.
There's really no other answer because the ACC, because we're not in it. Like I mean, I hate to be that fan, but I could really care less. Because SMU, I feel like SMU probably going to run away with it. Like they really like that. I give credit where credit due, but I don't got a dog in the fight in the ACC. So I'm probably going to say Texas, Georgia as well. Just good old fashioned, Southern football where, they're going 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Defense going to be out there killing. The atmosphere going to be lit. Like, what more could you ask for as a fan of football in general? Never mind college or pro. It's just football in general. Like, that's the type of atmosphere you want to be in or see when you're watching football. When you think Texas, Georgia, you think, it's a religion in those two states, bro. It's finna be some furniture moving, bro.
And for me, I'm gonna do like JP McMahon. I can't wait to see that Penn State and Oregon game. I'm not gonna lie. I cannot wait to see how that shit really getting ready to go down. And see if these offenses can do what they do, and I'm expecting Penn State defense to step up. All right, now this a good one. This a good one. Who is your top 5 finalists for the Heisman? Go ahead, Jack.
Man, I ain't even got to give you 5. The top 3 in this order, I'm gonna say Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty, and Cam Ward. So now, again, this is not a homer pick. Cam Ward is a absolute dog. So let's just be clear. Let me give you some contents to this thing. Cam Ward, 3 for 4,123 yards, 36 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. College football rating, as far as your QBR, 88.0, which is good by his metrics. Like, he's, for what Miami was offensively last year to what they are this year, complete turnaround. Because I can tell you now, De'Aaron King, as good as he was, he wasn't putting up them numbers.
I give you that.
Am I lying?
I ain't saying that.
In his first 7 games, he threw for over 300 yards passing in the first 7 games. He had more games over that, but the first 7 was off the rip, over 300 yards. He was throwing the ball wherever and whenever he wanted to. Within those games, let's talk about the comebacks against Virginia Tech, Cal, Louisville, Duke, and Wake Forest. In those games resulted in over 300 yards where they was down. So, I mean, I just think it's just in his DNA. And furthermore, in terms of the reason why I'm picking him as a front runner is because I feel like his skills, what he can do now, for him specifically, I think it's going to translate to the pros. Because I think that's now becoming the prototype for what you want your quarterbacks to look like and be like in the pocket. Like, we know what NFL athletes look like, especially defenders. They trying to kill you every play. So, as to quote Lil Wayne, what's going to a goblin? Cam different, bro. He different.
I can see him being the best Miami quarterback of all time. I can see that. I definitely can see that.
Ashton Genty. So the debate is it Cam is 3rd on that list for everybody else. He's number 2 on my list.
Okay.
Behind Genty.
Okay.
Now, I know it's hard to debate Travis Hunter because he plays both sides of the ball. So most people think it's an open and shut case for Heisman. I don't look at that because degree of difficulty matters. I think that's the thing that gets taken out of context. While Colorado has talent, take him off of offense. Does Colorado still thrive? Yes, they do.
I
So I'm not
that.
taking away from his talent, but I'm saying it's some games where he played damn near every snap of the game, but Shador wasn't throwing him the ball every play. So how do we know? That's what I'm saying.
That is true.
So I would say Travis falls to 3 on the list because of that, because predominantly where he shines is on offense, but he plays in an offense that can still thrive without him. So no disrespect to Travis, he's number 3. So I would say Genty only because Buddy is already at he's 2,288 yards, 28 touchdowns, and his average is 7.3 yards a carry. That's his average.
That Derrick Henry shit.
My point exactly. So, I mean, I give credit where credit's due. I would say Genty, for me, but more than likely, he's my front runner, Cam second, and Travis 3. I can't think of 2 more players to add to the list that's even close to what those 3 guys are doing consistently.
Okay. Everybody
has their down moments, including my guy Cam, but they still consistently, show up even in losing efforts and such. You know what I mean? Those are the 3 guys that come right to your mind when you think Heisman. Those 3.
What about you, JP?
Ashton Genty, Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Shador Sanders, and the 5th one. Dylan Johnson.
All right, Joe. That was a pull one out the ass. He cool. I ain't gonna lie. Dylan Johnson, he cool. I give you that one. That was a pull out the ass.
12-0. So I mean, somebody got beat.
Yeah. That's why I ain't gonna hate on that. All right. For me, by far, I'm gonna name the rest of the guys who I think should be in contention. But by far, it's the guy Ashton Genty. I mean, the last time a running back ran for 2,000 yards, he won the Heisman Trophy. Let's go and just put it out there. So he's on that. And he clearly is the offense. I mean, he clearly is the offense for his team. There's nothing else you can put it on. Jack, I ain't gonna lie, you hit it right on the dot. I mean, this damn near gives Shador his credit or gonna take away from Shador. Shador, you're supposed to be that type of quarterback to be able to perform no matter who's out there. You're supposed to be on that Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson shit, been able to perform no matter who's out there. So you just gave Shador his credit saying, nigga, this kid, we can't move without you. There is Joe Horn's son out there. They do got a decent running game and other wide receivers and a cool little tight end. And then as far as on defense, I mean, he's cool to me. To me, I think he's a good corner, but I think there's other secondary guys that are better. I just think he get the light put on him because he's going on both sides of the ball. Again,
Travis?
He's
great. Listen, he's a shutdown corner. I'm just saying in terms of why I would not give him I ain't gonna take he lights out on both sides of the ball. But I was making a point of when you say Heisman, like Heisman's the best player overall in the country.
Yeah, and I feel
like,
No, that's what I'm saying. I was agreeing with you more. Like, I don't even feel that he's the best DB. I feel like he just does a good job. I don't think he's the best wide receiver. I just think he does a good job. And I think we just get caught up in the fact that he's good at going on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And he rests. So I think, but to me, I was going to say this, and I talked about this a lot. I felt like Jalen Monroe definitely had a chance to do that and scored a rushing touchdown in almost every game, except for when they played against who they just lose to, and they only scored 3 points. Oklahoma. Yeah.
Milroe to me, anybody that plays for Alabama, and there's no disrespect to Alabama, I feel like that'd be kind of like the sexy pick because of who Alabama is. Jalen Milroe starts off, but I mean, he fizzles, and nobody really says too much about that. You know what I mean? Like, he had his time, but it's just like I'll say this: the Vanderbilt game showed me everything I needed to know about Shorty. We know he's tough. We know he gonna push, but sometimes somebody can be a little bit more relentless than you. And on that day, Vanderbilt was just a little more relentless. Like,
that shit just happened last week when they only scored 3 points. So I feel you on that. He those names. I gotta go defense. You feel me? Because I already gave Travis Hunter. I gotta go with a dual Carter. I mean, that boy killing over there for Penn State. You feel me? He probably about to be the best pass, probably one of the top picks in the draft for as being a pass rusher. And then another Penn State one more time. Did y'all see what Ty Warren is doing for Penn State? The boy is playing quarterback, wide receiver, tight end. He played center this year. He done played damn near every position, threw touchdown passes, caught touchdown passes, and then he just broke the I think if it's not the tight end for all tight ends, I know it was the Penn State record. He just caught 76 passes, went over 1,000 yards, double-digit touchdowns, and this, that, and third. So I just wanted to add him in there. He would be second on my list, even though I agree with you by far. Ashton, he got that shit. It ain't even close. All right, we're gonna do a recap of last week's games, and then we're gonna jump into the rest of the shit. So we might as well start off with the game from last night. We'll start off with you, JP. What's your thought on the Ravens Eagles game last night?
I'm gonna give brief answers. I'm not trying to be here all night. Missed field goals was crucial. Todd Monken's situational play kind of hurt us, and because Lamar definitely missed some throws, but overall, he played good enough to win. I think Derrick came at least 22 carries. Our defense finally showing, why they earning their paycheck. I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right, what about you, Jack?
Huge letdown. I mean, JP basically just like said it all. I would definitely kind of double down on the Todd Monken point. At the end of the day, players got to make plays, and I'm not letting the players off the hook because Justin Tucker, that's all you do. You're supposed to make field goals. You're the field goals, the kicking specialist, as they call it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you're supposed to do. So he's definitely not off the hook. But the reason why I'm more so harping on the Todd Monken thing is because as an offensive coordinator, my job now this is me speaking as a coach, so I don't want to feel like I'm just trying to I'm burning bridges and being mean. As a coach, my job is to check every box, dot every I, cross every T. It's all about situational football. I'm supposed to have a play dialed up for literally every situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and a lot of times, because even in wins, Todd Monken has a tendency to still think that he's at Georgia. You can't adjust or delay your adjustment like you would in a college game, because on the NFL field, everybody's equally yoked. Everybody. So even that third string DB that you might think is not problematic, yeah, they have second and third string for a reason. But guess what? He's taking the same amount of reps within that scheme as the starter for most teams. For most teams.
Mm-hmm.
So Monken doesn't account for those things, and it pisses me off because, again, as an offensive coordinator, if I know that my kicker's in a slump, I'm preparing the situation to proceed without him. And that's my issue with Todd Monken, because he's done this. It's been 10 games, and Justin Tucker has let us down in at least once in all of them, it seems like. You know what I mean? Like, every week we beefing about this. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I kind of more so put that on Todd Monken. But, yeah, that's my whole spill on that one right there. I think you said it best, JP. We simply just did not play well enough to win.
For me, I got the same outtake as yours, a little different. One, I still want to say this. I would like for the Ravens to get a little bit more help on the offensive side. And I know we've all seen this. How many times a game, not every game, how many times a game, which mean a lot, where we see Lamar Jackson just running around the backfield because no wide receiver can get open, where we watching other wide receivers get open on other teams just like that. I mean, we see it all the time that Lamar Jackson keep running around. He did it a lot last week. This game coming up, and then at the same time, you got to help your quarterback out. You got to catch the passes. You can't be dropping shit. Nelson Aguilar dropped a dime. I felt like that if he would have caught that, Justin Tucker probably makes that field goal because that made it a longer field goal. So I got to give credit was due, and the Eagles handled their business. So and I can't be too long on that. But Justin Tucker, you got to do better. Stop the commercials on the Royal Farms chicken. All right, next. How do y'all feel about the Bucks and Panthers? Go ahead, Jack.
Actually, you know what? That game was surprisingly good. I think I said it earlier in this episode. Divisional games are always tougher, and you ain't getting too much out of Carolina. But again, they get up to play. Tampa definitely number one. Is it White? The running back. What's his name?
Rashad White.
Rashad White. Like, he kind of give you classic running back vibes. You know what I mean? Kind of shifty, but he put his face in it. Like I was definitely loving how he's one of the, I guess, like, unspoken closers in the game. He can definitely advance the ball when it's time to not lose yardage. So I mean, he stepped up when it was time to, because at one point in time Carolina was winning that game. So I mean, to dance your way back into it and really, fight and claw for every little bit was impressive. So that's typical NFC South, because anybody can win that division at any given time. Like, sometimes, like, when that division is good, they're really good. When that division is bad, they're really bad.
That's no
So
bullshit.
that particular game, watching how they, went through that back and forth, seeing how Tampa stayed the course, that was overall a good game.
All right, JP.
Baker Mayfield still some shit.
What happened?
Baker
Baker
Mayfield some shit.
still some shit. Got fooled because he had a couple good games in a good year. So now he's going back to midseason form, turning the football over. If the Carolina Panthers was just a little bit more seasoned, they win this game. Bryce Young almost threw for 300 yards, basically 290. The Bucks, like I said, they it's almost a division game. If they do win this division, and definitely more. Whoever won this division gets sent. So, yeah, that's all I can say.
For me, I'm not. First of all, I just want to give a shout out to the Panthers on the fact that you fought hard. The main thing that I got from this game is just like how JP said. Baker Mayfield, you fucking suck and you're trash. And the reason why I say that is you got everybody hopes up high last year, what you did in the playoffs and advancing in the playoffs, and then you come back the next year thinking that you just got the keys to everything, and you come back shit in the bed because you're in this shitty ass division. And then this is a game, and I've said this plenty of times. I'm waiting for Baker Mayfield to have that game where to show you I'm here. I'm here in the league. You playing against the 3-9 Carolina Panthers. At the time, they 3-8. You should have fucked them up and destroyed them. They're going through quarterback problems. They're going through problems on the offensive side. They don't have any weapons, and the defense is not all that high it used to, where players don't even want to be on Carolina no more. So I felt that this is more should have been the game where Baker Mayfield took over and did his thing, but he did what Baker Mayfield always does enough to just to get the W, and because that's what they say it's all about. The next game, go ahead, JP. I'm gonna let you start off. Your thoughts on the Rams and the Saints?
The Rams found a way to win. Matthew Stafford was efficient, 184. I think it threw 2 touchdowns. Kyron Williams, 100 yards rusher. But since the Saints got rid of Dennis Allen, they've been showing some life, and they're not mathematically out of this division because the division is terrible. Marquez Scantlin's now, found his home with the Saints. But Sean McVay keeping his team competitive. Seattle is right now in the lead, and then the 49ers got issues. So the Rams still trying to stay in the thick of things.
What about you, Jack?
First of all, shout out to Sean McVay. A lot of people who, close to me in terms of coaching, he's kind of one of my coaching blueprints where he's literally a year older than I am, and he's I think he's still the youngest tenured coach in the NFL right now. And I just like his football mind. So, I definitely always give him his flowers because like Buddy don't get rattled. Like he fully understands the game. So I really like him. But as far as the game is concerned, I enjoyed watching the highlights more than anything because we were talking about like Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is easily one of the most useful players in the league because he literally does everything, and which he put on display yesterday, but just in a losing effort. The Rams are going to be the Rams. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, it may not reflect record wise, but they're always a solid team. Coming up a little bit subpar, but they definitely they have championship pedigree. It's just not their season. But overall, they found a way to finish that game. Like I said, that was my only takeaway from that game. I mean, it wasn't like a on the edge of your seat, like cliffhanger type game. You know what I mean? It was just routine NFL football game. It was competitive, but between two solid teams, that's all I really got from it. You know what I mean? Not having a dog in a fight.
Well, for me, as I mentioned earlier, that the Rams, that's who I play with when I play with Madden. You feel me? I like playing with underdogs teams, and they got a decent little record at 6-6. And I like the fact that Matt Stafford can still sling that ball, do what he do. He was supposed to be cast away after the Super Bowl win. We're not even talking about the Rams making the playoffs, which they did do, and we're not even talking about them at least being decent and good, and they're still getting the job done. And I ain't gonna lie, JP, I gotta give you credit. Besides Jalen Ramsey and Odell Beckham, I would not give a fuck about Sean McVay, but you pounded on this show that how great this guy is, a genius, and what he doing. I mean, I remember games that you called that I thought the Rams was going to lose, but they won just because of his offensive mind and what he was doing with the Rams. So I gotta give credit where it's due. And the only thing I gotta say about the Saints is, Saints, you fooled me. You had us believe in the first 3 or maybe 4 weeks of the season that you were going to be the team that go to the Super Bowl, at least play good, and then you went shit to bed since then. Next up, give your thoughts on the blowout game, the Bills and the 49ers. Now, this shocked me. Go ahead, JP.
The 49ers just beat the hell out right now. Like Christian McCaffrey's like that for the year. Debo's been in and out. No Ayuk for the year. Bosa, Trent Warner, they just beat up. Like they won. So they, like I said, because the division's so spotty, they got shot. But the Bills took care of business in the snow. So imagine if it was a perfect condition, I think 50. So just a complete dominant win by the Bills and Josh Allen. Definitely, proved his case to be MVP.
All right, Jack, it's on you.
JP basically just gave my answer, man. I mean, it just came down to the better team doing what they were supposed to do. You know what I mean? The 49ers, I knew from the jump didn't have a shot. You know what I mean? Like the 49ers are, if I'm being honest, if you watched them, all their games this season, minus the Cardinals game, which was a tight game for them. I thought they were going to win that game, but the Cardinals actually came storm back and beat them. That game was the first game I actually paid attention to them. They looked dejected. I mean, after going to the Super Bowl last year and losing it in the fashion in which they lost, like they just looked dejected. And I just, I would put it like this: if I was a 49er fan, I'd definitely be questioning Shanahan and what he has in store moving forward because I'm almost starting to believe that he doesn't want it because offensively, with the weapons that they have, the things they should be able to do. Now, barring injury, because we already, like I said, you out for the season and things of that nature. Like even still, the offensive system, it should be next man up because they, if I'm not mistaken, however many years ago it was the first time they went to the Super Bowl and played the Chiefs. They were healthy and they had some small spots where it was like next man up, and they were able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I figure, like, what's the difference between now and then? Of course, you got to upgrade a running back with CMC and, maybe a player here and there. But systematically, you should be a well-oiled machine. And it's just, like, inexcusable how they just getting slapped around, dude. So the Bills did what they were supposed to do, and they took advantage of a team that they were supposed to take advantage of.
For me, all I'm gonna add is the reason why I said I was shocked. I was just counting on the 49ers defense to at least do what 49ers do. I mean, the reason why I'm bringing up, even when the Ravens struggle on offense or the Ravens look shitty a year or the Steelers look shitty a year, the defense still comes to let you know this is who we are. Yeah, our offense may be this, but this is who we stand behind. I mean, when you think about 49ers, besides Christian McCaffrey, you think about that defense. So I was just more shocked that the defense didn't step up how they was going to. However, to add to your point, Jack, earlier that you was talking about in the show, Josh Allen by far is showing that MVP trait. I mean, that probably could have put him past Lamar Jackson and Saquon Barkley that game alone because, I mean, he played lights out, did what he was supposed to, got the ball to who he needed to get to. And a lot of people thought that he was going to fall off without Diggs and without all these other wide receivers stepping up. And all he did was continue to do what he do. Amari Cooper not wowing nobody, doing nothing major. He just got that security blanket. So I got to give Bills credit. All right, next game. This will talk about our division. What's your thoughts on the big Bengals and Steelers game, Jack?
The Bengals shit the bed, straight up. Like, I mean, granted, they're not having the best season, but the one thing I keep noticing is the inconsistency in their offense. Like, Jamar Chase is going to be Jamar Chase. T. Higgins is going to be T. Higgins. Joe Burrow is going to be Joe Burrow. But you can't go stride for stride with a team like the Steelers and then take your foot off the gas. And in no world does that make any sense.
Mm-mm.
And I feel like starting to make mistakes down the stretch. Last I checked, it was 21 all tie, and the defense just decided, hey, we're going to phone this one in, and they let them get in the end zone. But then the problem was the Bengals, when they got the ball back, they refused to do a goddamn thing with it. So, and like, I mean, I'm a division guy. If it's not black and purple, I really don't give a damn. But anything to help us out, I was definitely rooting for the Bengals yesterday. Like, come on, dog. Like, come on, whoop their ass. Like, y'all at home, it shouldn't have been a problem. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't have been a problem, but what did they do? They made it a problem. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, the Steelers proved that our division is definitely the toughest division in football, bar none.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals, they did all they could until they simply couldn't anymore, and that was the end result. The Steelers win. I hate saying that shit out loud, but that's what the fuck happened.
All right, JP, it's on you.
To piggyback on what Jack said, the Bengals, like, definitely they got the ball. It's just the thing with them playing along. They can score with anybody. They just that's the thing. Even when they played us, so their defense is just relentlessly hard. But what happens? Your defensive players go. You got to pay all the offensive guys. So, good win by Pittsburgh. Bad loss for Cincinnati.
For me, I'm gonna just be super short. I knew the Steelers was gonna win. The Bengals still haven't came over their hangover from going to the Super Bowl and losing. They haven't seemed to get better since then. And I think the only way you're gonna get better is realize, that Super Bowl that we went to was a Super Bowl loss. Let's get back to winning football, being a team, because the way the Bengals act, like that Super Bowl loss was a successful year for them, and they haven't been doing anything since then. I mean, we basically saying what's the two guys' name? We're basically saying Carson Palmer and Chad Ochocinco all over again. This time they went to the Super Bowl. All right, next game. Titans and Commanders. Give me your thoughts, JP.
The Commanders stomped them. It's just that simple. I ain't gonna be short and sweet.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Jack.
Yeah, Titans ain't want to fight. I mean, they showed a gasp of life in the late in the third, going into the fourth, but wasn't enough to even what did dude say on Players Club? Did you at least pinch the bitch? It wasn't even enough to equate to a pinch. You know what I mean?
What I was going to add to that is, I'm not going to lie. It was at one point in time where the game was like 21 or like 28-10, and I did think the Titans were going to squeeze in, but then it went back to normal. All right, so next game we're going to talk about, JP, you mentioned these guys in your top five. What's your thoughts on the Seahawks and Jets? Go ahead, JP.
Hell of a game. Seahawks defense rose to the occasion. Leonard Williams, man, every time he played the Jets or the Giants, he just goes off 2 teams.
He do.
So, Mike McDonald's doing a hell of a job. They went on a little 3-game skid earlier, but they got together with the Jets, and it's a shit show. No matter Robert Saleh, no Robert Saleh, Aaron Rodgers, no Aaron Rodgers. The Jets are still the Jets. The Seahawks, they showed why they're the better team. I said,
what about you, Jack?
Just the Seahawks doing what the Seahawks supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like the Jets, even with all the pickups, never really was impressed because it takes a long time to gel. And once you let Robert Saleh out the door, there's no chance of that happening now, because now it's more dysfunctional on your offense. You know what I mean? It takes a minute to get. Rome wasn't built in a day. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's what they was expecting, just having that synergy with Devontae, bringing him in for Aaron Rodgers. They've been having this struggle all season long. So now, because you're playing the Seahawks, this shit ain't gonna fucking change. So the Seahawks did what they were supposed to do and beat that ass.
Yeah, all I would say is that this was a good win for Seattle, good way to capitalize, because you did not ever want to lose your momentum losing to a team like this who ain't going nowhere, and fuck up your playoff chances and seeding and shit like that. So nevertheless, good job. And I ain't gonna lie, JP, you actually right. Every time he plays the Jets and the Giants, he takes it personally on this guy. I mean, literally. I mean, if he probably could win a Super Bowl if he played one of them in it. All right, next one. This was a shitty game. You feel me? Our favorite, Kirk Cousins and Atlanta Falcons versus the Chargers. What's your thoughts on it, Jack?
That's the one game I actually didn't watch, but I mean, I will say Atlanta, they started off hot. Here lately, sometimes they just find a way to lose. That's what I know about Atlanta, and that's without me even watching the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say that the Chargers are a explosive offense. Their defense is pretty solid. So when you match up a team like Atlanta, again, business as usual, man. Harbaugh, the other Harbaugh brother, let me clarify that shit. He definitely has a way of galvanizing a team. So to beat Atlanta, that's to be expected.
All right, what about you, JP?
Kirk Cousins, man. He like Baker Mayfield. They'll have a couple good games, and then Jekyll and Hyde, and they come back to midseason form. He basically single-handedly lost the game, 4 interceptions. Four, when I went back for a touchdown, you do the math. Still won by the Chargers. No need to throw all that.
All I'm gonna say is I gotta agree with you, JP. I mean, Kirk Cousins definitely wet the bed. I mean, come on, the score was 13-17. That was the score. You threw 4 picks, so that going to tell me that your defense was keeping you in the game, and the quarterback that you was going against didn't throw any touchdowns. That go to show how good your defense was going. So you get to the point where you say, Kirk Cousins, when are you going to step up and add pieces to the puzzles? But as I always say, man, he's a guy that likes to rob teams. Just take their money and give them little hopes. All right, next up, this was a crazy game right here. The Colts versus the Patriots. Go ahead, JP.
Anthony Richardson looking like he finally finally figured it out. The benching probably helped. Because ever since then, they've been on the road. Last year he took them rightfully, so you can't take that. But they they're putting together some wins, and they being competitive. The Patriots will be good in about 2 years if they stick with Gerard Mayo because he built the foundation, breaking some habits, but they're competing only like one or two teams. A hell of a football game, man. Anthony Richardson won it with the quarterback sneak. Great overall game.
What about you, Jack?
Two subpar teams on the rise. Definitely a great point, JP, in terms of talking about Mayo with the Patriots and everything like that, because I think he's trying to return them to the Patriots, the allure of the Patriots that he was a part of and won Super Bowls with. So he's definitely on the right track. But as far as the Colts are concerned, Anthony Richardson is a specimen, solid football player. He's learning. I think they do need to put more pieces around him.
Mm-hmm.
That, without question, I feel like they could actually be competitive in that AFC South division to compete with the likes of like Houston and stuff like that. But as far as yesterday, that was just who wanted it more. Like, you know what I mean? Two teams that's basically like in the same boat. We're not really competing for anything, so to speak. Neither team is mathematically. No, I'm sorry. I don't think they're mathematically eliminated as of yet. But yeah, it was just a solid competitive game. But it came down to it. Anthony Richardson is if you ask me, is the star in that equation.
To answer somewhat what you were saying, Jack. Maybe the Colts probably still got a chance because with their win, they're 6-7, so their playoff hopes probably still is alive. But I got to add what y'all both were saying. This more was a clash of the future guys. I mean, I hope May can continue to do what he's doing for the Patriots and grow and be great, and the same thing for Richardson. So I think this more one of those type of games. And it was an old clash of the Titans from back in the day when the Patriots and Colts used to feud. So good game nonetheless. All right, another division game. What's your thoughts, JP, on the Texans and Jaguars?
Houston finally got back in the win column, but we had dropped some games. Collins, Tank Joe trained up when they came back. But they found a way to win. Division games are always tough. CJ Stroud had a solid game. They found a way to win a tough division game.
What about you, Jack? Jaguars and Texans. What's your thought on it?
I mean, Houston being Houston. Now, the one thing I will say about their division, all divisional games, like I said, I think that's been kind of a theme with me when we talk about divisional things. All divisional games are going to be tough. You know what I mean? No matter what your record is, the team that you don't like, you're going to play them the toughest. But I don't think that. If I'm being honest, I didn't think the Jaguars had any shot because they've really been looking bad. Like they've been blown out a few times this year. Like I just didn't think they would give anything to Houston at all. So, I mean, Houston being Houston doing what they're supposed to do. The better team is supposed to win.
Okay. I want to know, did what's the name get? Oh yeah, that's what happened. What's the name got hurt? That's why he couldn't finish the game. And I'm gonna say that kind of looked bad to me. Trevor Lawrence, you've been playing kind of shitty. The Jaguars are not who we thought they was gonna be. I ain't gonna lie, man. You talk a lot, JP, on the show. How we assumed that Trevor Lawrence was gonna be the next Peyton Manning. We talk about it a lot. And you make that playoff run, and now you 2-10. And here's what I want to add more bad news to it. The Jaguars played against a playoff team, the Houston Texans. Their backup quarterback came in a game and went 20 for 32, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no picks, and almost won the game. So all I'm going to say is, man, Trevor Lawrence, you need to come back, evaluate yourself, and get back to doing what you're supposed to be doing because you got decent wide receivers. You got a good fucking running back in Travis Etienne, and then you got a great fucking tight end in Evan Ingram. So I would just say, man, get back to what you're doing. Good win nonetheless for the Texans. All right, next game. This is a game I really don't want to talk about, so I'm gonna be super quick. Giants and Cowboys. Go ahead, JP.
The Cowboys found a way to win. Like I said, the Giants are just derailing no dang. So, like I said, the Cowboys just found a way to win. Somebody had to win this game, and unfortunately, it was the Cowboys.
This nigga said somebody had to win. I like that one. Yo, all right. Go ahead, Jack.
Deion Sanders used to have a segment when he was on NFL Network. He used to have a segment when they make their picks, and when it came down to two bum teams playing, when they asked who you think gonna win, his response was, "Ain't nobody care." He used to say, "Ain't nobody care." That's how I felt about the Giants Cowboys game.
Yeah.
Although it was competitive, Drew Lock definitely like shocked me. You know what I mean? Like a backup, you don't expect anything from him. So I guess a guy in that position ain't got nothing to lose. If you ask me who's the better of the two teams, obviously Dallas, and that proved, that showed with them getting the dub, but still not that good if you let it be that close. You know what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
It shouldn't have been that way. But all in all, my takeaway from that was to quote Dion, "Ain't nobody cared." I really didn't give a damn about that game.
I'm gonna be quick on. First of all, my first thing is CD Lamb. It go to show how trash you is. You want to be known as one of the top wide receivers. You're supposed to be doing your thing no matter who's your quarterback. That's why DeAndre Hopkins is probably my favorite wide receiver of all time, because no matter who his quarterback was, he went over 1,000 yards. It's as simple as that. And CD Lamb only 2 catches for 39 yards, and you played against the horrible New York Giants where they don't have no secondary. They just got a pass rush, and the pass rush not even all that. Not even all that. And then they probably going to lose that because I think Dexter Lawrence probably going to be hurt for a couple games. Drew Lock, you did what you were supposed to do, but it was more of Dallas Cowboys won because they was the better out of shitty teams. All right, the next one, Dolphins and Packers. And this was a good game for me. What's your thoughts on it, Jack?
Bro, the Dolphins is not. They're not who nobody thought they were. Like, it's just that team is slowly falling apart, whether we want to realize that or not. The Packers definitely are a younger team. That's why, matter of fact, that's why they listed, in my ranking for as top 5 teams in the NFC. Like, they definitely could, potentially make some noise given the right situation and everything like that. So they definitely beat a team where you thought, maybe the Dolphins' offense might come alive. Not so. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Open hands, slapped them in the mouth. Let's go and get on how they with this dub, and that was that. It was. There is no takeaway from the game.
What about you? What about you, JP?
The only good thing about this game is the quarterbacks. Jordan Love, 274, 2 touchdowns, 365, 2 touchdowns. Other than that, the Packers, like the Dolphins, every time they get outside of Miami, they don't know how to play. They're amazing at home when they're warm climate, but you get them on the cold when they got to play real football. They shit time. So Packers, like I say, took care of business. They were trying to win that division. Catch up with Detroit, Minnesota.
Well, I'm gonna just ride off your coattail 2 things. First of all, you're absolutely correct. I mean, that was almost like 600 yards through the air between the 2 quarterbacks, and 4 touchdowns and no picks. So that was fucking lights out. But what both of y'all basically saying is, it seemed like Miami wouldn't survive if they went to Kansas City and played there. They went to Buffalo and played there. They come to Baltimore, play here. It's a damn shame that you can only win in your building. So that means you would have to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs to even win it there. So as we was all saying, as you were definitely saying, Jack, that I like to say, the Dolphins is not who we thought they were. We thought this was going to be the team that once they got the quarterback, they were going to be playoff bound, Super Bowl bound, even in competition with the Ravens, and they have yet to show us anything. All right, these 2 of my favorite games, and I definitely can't wait to hear your thoughts on this one. The Bears and the Lions. Go ahead, JP.
I look at all the division games are basically tough. I ain't see not one blowout on these division games. So like I said, that familiarity. Detroit, man, like I said, they find a way to win, man. Anytime you quarterback can throw 5 interceptions, still win the game. That says a lot. That says they take $1 billion, and they take on the personnel as the head coach, like Jack said earlier. Golf had a solid game, 21, 2 touchdowns. Caleb had a great game, 256, 3 touchdowns. But Matt Eberflus blew the game instead of taking the points, and that's why he's no longer employed. So,
oh man, I don't mean to laugh, but you be saying some facts, bro. But go ahead, Jack.
Valid point about Matt Eberflus. I mean, at the end of the day, they say good teams find a way to win, bad teams find a way to lose. Horrible clock management toward the end. You didn't take the points. You got what you deserved. As they say, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. There you go for the Bears. They won a stupid prize. The only thing I will say I'm impressed with is the fact that they were actually able to, because it was a divisional game. That's been a recurring thing with us, but they were actually able to make it a ultra competitive game with the Lions, the way they've been steamrolling people. But who knows them better than somebody that plays them twice every year? You know what I mean? So what their ins and outs are and so to speak. But again, I think that just came down to poor coaching, time and clock management, and horrible situational, because there's no way in the world I'm not kicking a field goal.
Yeah, that was dumb as shit. What I'm gonna add to that is the first thing is it's upsetting that Caleb Williams. This probably was your best game out the entire season, your best complete game, and it wasn't really all that with only 20 points. You feel me? However, it was a complete game. You was playing against a nice, decent offense. And you was playing a great offense, but you was playing against a nice, decent defense where both of their DBs get interceptions. They probably got like 6 apiece. They got some good regular corners out there, motherfucker. And then we already know what the pass rush doing. And I ain't gonna lie, who was the guy they just got? I'm mad that I can't say his name right now.
Is it Darius Smith?
And he came in right away, making an impact in this, that, and third. So I like that sign. But I would just say it would be more disappointing for the Bears because I don't know what was going on. You could have got closer to get yourself a field goal, but you let all the time run out on a third down. That always blows me when you have 2 downs that get you some points and you just waste it all in one row. So I gotta talk right there. All right. Before we get into the predictions, this is the game I really want to talk about. Hear your guys' thoughts, and we start off with you, JP. The Raiders and the Chiefs. What's your thoughts?
Chiefs got a 4-leaf clover stuck up somebody's ass. Like the Raiders, like this would have been their Super Bowl, because their season has been the highlights of the season have been beating us. That was their main highlight. Other than that, Aiden O'Connell 340, 2 touchdowns. Mahomes 300, touchdowns. Like I said, it was the quarterbacks put up yards when I had touchdowns. But Tony First keep them competitive because the only team that steamrolled them was the Panthers, believe it or not. Broncos, but the Chiefs, they remind me of the 2011 Packers. They probably go 15-2, maybe 14-3, and they're going to lose in the playoffs.
I like that. What about you, Jack? What's your thoughts on the Raiders Chiefs game?
A disappointment, a costly mistake with snapping the ball with your quarterback not paying attention. I mean, as a quarterback, why would your eyes not be on the ball? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Again, I said it early in the show. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't like to lean into that, but the timing of that just did not seem on the up and up to me. That's just me.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, every single time when it comes down to the pivotal moment when the Chiefs are literally on the ropes and could lose, something of that magnitude always happens. I do not believe in coincidence that goddamn much. But that's neither here nor there. The Raiders took the L. I think that they managed pretty well, but I just feel like in certain situations they left too much time on the clock with instances where Patrick Mahomes was able to chunk them down the field. Now, I'm not gonna say it's all on the offensive side because Spags got his defense playing at a different level, and that's my favorite defensive coordinator of all times. Next to Rex Ryan.
I can see that.
Spags is one of them guys who going back to his days as the Giants D coordinator, like he know how to put a puzzle together. Like where you may see one thing, he sees a total different thing that he knows you're not thinking about, and then he just off with your head. So I got to give him some credit. I mean, like I said, as much as I don't like the Chiefs, they got a complete defense now. They have a complete defense now, and they was able to make stops or at least hinder the Raiders from being able to pour it on them like they wanted to. But I think that game came down to literally that moment where the one moment where O'Connell doesn't take his eyes off the ball. That should never happen in that situation. Point blank, period. Point blank. That's what it comes down to.
I gotta agree with you on that. Before I get to that part, because that's the main thing I'm just gonna stick on, because that's the part, the reason why they lost the game. But I mean, if I'm a Raiders fan, I definitely feel upset. Your quarterback matched Patrick Mahomes, who is a Hall of Fame quarterback. Both quarterbacks passed the ball to 8 different guys. You had a tight end go over 100 yards. You had another wide receiver almost at 100 yards with Jacoby Myers. So I mean, you can take some good from that, but it's always one of those things. What the hell are the Raiders keep doing to lose these games? What do they keep doing to show us that they can be competitive, but then erase that shit right then and there? I hate when they do that shit. Like, it was like so long ago, the last time when the Raiders made the playoffs. And it's sad because they have good things around it. I mean, I feel sad for Max Crosby, a guy like that who has to stay over there in that bullshit, and a guy like Brock Byers and all that shit who got to stay in that bullshit. So it was a good game, but you can't take your eyes off the ball. You literally are beating the Chiefs 20-19, and the Chiefs is probably even having fucked up things in their mind because they keep getting left off the hook. They need that loss to make them remember everything that they've been going through this season. But when you keep letting them get away with shit like this, they won't have anything to worry about. All right, so we're gonna go and do the prediction for these games. Just tell the score, and then we're gonna get up out of here. All right, this is a big game. We're gonna start with you, JP. What's your score for the Packers versus the Lions?
I'm going Packers. I'm gonna go 31-28.
I can see that happening. Go ahead, Jack. Go ahead, Jack.
I'm gonna say the Lions 28-14.
Okay, if this game was in Green Bay,
I would to the boys in the Motor City for some reason.
Say it again.
Got a lot of faith in them boys in the Motor City. They not tested enough for me, but I feel you.
No, bro, they on this thug like Taz. I told you the mentality that they taking on. You can't deny that. Like you see it in their play. The coach, they permeated with it, bro. It's just
until Dan Campbell cost him a game for not taking points. But
now that's what I agree with both of y'all on. Dan Campbell will do some shit that cost him a game, but I'm not gonna lie. To add the Jack point, the last time we seen coaching like that, what was the coach name for the Seahawks? Pete Carroll. And you saw what they did. They rolled their coach to the Super Bowl. What else? John Harbaugh, Shanahan.
I said you got everybody Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah. Oh, you already know. I picked Lions Ravens at the beginning of the season. But
no, I'm just saying you said that about several teams. That was Jack and that's somebody. Okay.
Oh yeah. I definitely believe it's true. You feel me? That's why we had the little ranking. But with this game, if this game was in Green Bay, I would pick Green Bay because of the winning wave they on. But it's in Detroit, so I'm going to go with Green Bay losing this game 24-27. I'm going with the Lions. All right, next game, the game that we don't care about. That's what Jack would say. Who you got out of the Browns and the Steelers?
I'm gonna go Browns 23-20.
What about you, Jack?
I'm gonna say Browns too. I feel like the Browns got their number. Like just like we are rivalry with the Steelers, so are they. I don't think the Steelers really. For one, they gotta avenge themselves from what happened a few Thursdays ago because that shit was not expected to happen at all.
It was.
So I think they're gonna try to overcompensate. So I'm gonna say score. I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game. So I'm gonna say one. Matter of fact, one score game, 13-14. I think it's gonna come down to the wire.
This is what I would say because the Browns could get a sneaky win, but I'm going to be cliche and say it again. Only because this game is in Pittsburgh, I'm going to go with the Steelers getting the job done in enough. I'm going to go 23-17. All right, next up, a shitty game. This game is in New York. The Saints versus the Giants. Go GP.
I'm going Saints 27-10.
What about you, Jack?
Saints. I gotta give them a 2 touchdown cushion. The Giants are just bad, dude. Like even though they'll be home, the Giants are just bad. Like it's almost snake bitten.
Oh,
so, man. I'll say, shit, 21-7. I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna go with y'all. I'm going with something shitty. I was not impressed. Their running back always fumbling. I'm still not impressed with Locke. So I'm gonna go with the Saints with the defense running over top of the Giants. I'm gonna go 27-10. All right, next up, a division game. I'm gonna start with you, Jack. Who you got out of the Jets and the Dolphins?
The Jets, we just simply because their offense is a little more polished than the Dolphins. Like the Dolphins, like when they bad, they really, really bad, and they definitely on the skid right now. Trying to get back into the win column. I don't think this will be the week, but I think the Jets are gonna. Aaron Rodgers is gonna be Aaron Rodgers.
What's your score?
I'll give them 3 because, like I said, their run game ain't bad. So I think Aaron Rodgers is going to throw for 2 and they're going to get 1 on the ground. So I'll go 21-14.
That ain't bad. All right, what about you, JP?
Dolphins 35-40.
You said 35?
Yeah.
Dolphins is bad. It's bad, yeah.
No, you gotta remember, bro. They got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. They can easily get 2 touchdowns apiece.
That is true. I be betting on
that. But no, the Jets defense show up. That's why I said 14.
Not this year. I love Sauce, all them Quinn and CJ. Nah, they more balk than bite this year. So I'm sticking with 35 points.
Now I will say this to both of y'all. I think Miami can point them points up that add to JP. But I ain't gonna lie, Jack. Because of the division thing, that defense can be the score that you talking about at 21-14. However, even if I'm going to pick that score, I gotta go the opposite. You pick the Jets win. I'm going to pick the Dolphins to win in the nail biter.
21-14.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah,
Okay.
21-14, and it really looked like a good game a little bit where Aaron Rodgers give you some little tweaks that he could win, but I got Aaron Rodgers losing the game at the end, 21-14. I'm going with the Dolphins. My bad. All right, next up a shitty game that we don't care about. Go ahead, JP. Jaguars versus the Titans.
Trevor Lawrence if he's not playing, I'm going Tennessee. They do show a little glimpses. I'm gonna go Tennessee 17-14.
All right, what about you, Jack?
I'll take the same score, and I'm definitely going to stick with Tennessee. Tennessee played as best they could late in the third, and I think I do believe in momentum carrying when you're just trying to salvage pride, because I mean they're not really playing for anything, and this is a game that they just need to win for their own sanity. So I'm gonna say same score, and I'm gonna pick Tennessee.
That's
I'm
not
going with
there's people not cut you off, Maurice. People playing
go,
for jobs, contracts, etc.
you is right. This is around that time where you need to start playing a little bit harder too, or your ass gonna be fired. I'm gonna go with what both of you guys said, only because this game was in Tennessee, and because there's a chance that Trevor Lawrence gonna be hurt. I'm gonna go with the Titans, and this probably might be a blowout game, but I'm gonna go with the Titans winning like 27-3. 27-3. I'm going with the Titans. All right, another game. This one should be a good one for y'all to say. I'm gonna start with you, JP. Falcons versus the Vikings.
For some odd, crazy reason, I got the Falcons winning because when a team plays bad or have a bad showing, because I'm pretty sure none of them going to pick them on the picks. They're going to show up. So I'm going to go with the Falcons. 35-31.
Not bad. Kirk Cousins coming back on the
He's playing his former team too.
Yeah,
that's going to give him a little.
So now that you know that, Jack, what's your thoughts on the game? Who you got and what's the score?
Who's home?
The Vikings.
Vikings.
I'm going with the Vikes. I with that one, you can't really tell. Neither team has any like significant injuries, so your health is really not a concern. Level of competition is somewhat even, somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what we were saying about Kirk Cousins earlier, but JP, that was a valid point about playing your old team, because I don't know what it is about certain players, like returning back to who let you go.
Mm-hmm.
You just got that one circled on your calendar. You're not just playing hard, but everybody's going to rally around you to play hard for you. So that very well could be a ugly thing. So what I'm going to say is this. I'm going to say the Vikings, just to go against the grain on what you just said. I'm just going against the grain. I'm just going to say the Vikings, but I think it's going to be a closer game than what we think. So you said your score was what, 35 to what?
35-31. I think it's going to be a shooter. I just think they're going to stop him one time to get 3. That's going to be the difference.
Okay. I won't mess with the score, but I'm going to just say the Vikes.
Okay. To me, I'm gonna mess with the score a little bit, but I still think it's gonna be in the high 30s. I'm gonna go with the Falcons winning this game 36-35. It come down to a field goal at the end. Vikings gonna be winning 35-33, and I think Kirk Cousins is gonna drive them down the field to get that field goal. And it's gonna be more importantly, basically that shit that you cleared up and Jack said. When you come home and play that old team, your team rally behind you and be on your ass. So
he's not gonna be rattled by the crowd. He know the stadium.
Exactly. Yeah. And I can see Kirk Cousins getting the game ball after this. All right, we already know the score to this one. This is probably gonna be the only blowout of the week. What's your thoughts on Eagles and Panthers? Go ahead, Jack.
Man, I don't think it's gonna be a blowout.
For real? Okay.
I'm serious. I think Carolina gonna come to play. They still gonna lose. Don't get it twisted. Okay. I ain't saying they're gonna beat the Eagles, but I think it's gonna be a closer game because like we definitely just pushed the Eagles' limits. They just closed the game out good. It wasn't like they was playing great the whole time. Carolina's a team that wants to play spoiler right now because they don't have a dog in the fight. So I see it being, I'm gonna say Eagles 28. I'm gonna say 28-21. I think the Carolina Panthers can get 3 scores. Adam Thielen did not look bad yesterday. And not to mention to the point that Fox, you said it earlier, talking about the 2 rookie corners. Although playing good, they still rookies. Adam Thielen is known for having a field day on fresh faces.
You're right.
All the way back to his days at the Vikings. He's known for doing that. So it could very well be a track meet, obviously with the Eagles finishing and winning in the end. But I don't think it's going to be a blowout like everybody thinking. I really don't.
All right. And you said your score was what? 21-28, right?
28-21.
All right, go ahead, JP.
I agree with it's definitely gonna be a closer game than what that's where the casual fans stuff come in. They just think they're gonna blow them out.
Exactly.
Sometimes it do, but in this particular, the Panthers are playing for Bryce Young, they're playing for Matt Canada, so they're gonna play hard. I'm gonna go Eagles 31-24.
Okay. To me, I'm gonna go in one of those type of blowout wins, but it's a lot of points. Meaning I believe Bryce Young is gonna put up numbers, but the score is gonna be like 55 to 28, and he gonna have some good numbers. That's what I'm talking about, like that. Like I believe they're gonna lose by a lot, but I think Bryce Young is gonna be showing some life. At least throw like 4 touchdown passes or some shit like that. I think the Eagles should put that stamp on it. I mean,
Yeah, and they
stop
at Carolina too, right?
Huh?
They
No,
at
this game is-
Carolina?
No, this game
Or
is
they in Philly?
No, in Philly.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Next up, another shitty game. The Buccaneers versus the Raiders. Go ahead, JP.
I'm gonna go with the Bucks. It's gonna be a fairly tight game because the Raiders are trying to keep AP and playing hard. I'm gonna go 23-20 Tampa Bay.
All right, Jack.
I say 21-20, and I'm going with the Raiders. They're going to avenge themselves from last week. Last week's blunder. Their offense truly doesn't look bad with O'Connell. They really don't look bad. I mean, to be able to hang with the Chiefs and what I was just saying about their defense and how Spags got them playing good, they was advancing the ball, they was scoring, they was keeping pace. They look good. You know what I mean? I'm not impressed at all with Tampa Bay's defense in total. So I mean, the Raiders could definitely go in there and slap them in the face. So I think I'm gonna take the Raiders on that one, and I'm gonna say 21-20.
I'm not
1 point
gonna
game.
lie, Jack. You just convinced the shit out of me because I was just thinking about this shit. O'Connell did play well with the team rallying behind the plan against the goddamn Chiefs. You don't think he's gonna play better against a worse team, which is the Bucks? And I think this is gonna be the one where Baker Mayfield, when you throw them 1 and 2 interceptions, this team, the Raiders, are going to burn you. So I could honestly say that the best games that the Raiders played all season was the games when they beat us, and this one right here. I got them beating the Buccaneers. I'm gonna go 27-23. Baker Mayfield fuck it up by throwing like 1 or 2 picks. All right, here go division game. Can't wait to hear your thoughts. I'm gonna start off with you again, JP. Cardinals and Seahawks.
Go with the Seahawks because, like I said, Geno and them guys and Mike McDonald got the playing. So I'm gonna go. It's gonna be some points because both teams can put up some points. I'm gonna go 34-31 Seattle.
Okay. What about you, Jack? And game is in Arizona, in case you wanted to know.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game without beyond a shadow of a doubt because both offenses are definitely like that. Also a divisional game. I would just say it comes down. Who has the worst DBs out of the two?
Cardinals, easy.
Yeah, I was about to say easy. That would be easy.
They got Wolin and them guys to hold their own.
Yeah.
I'll just say this. Because they're familiar with each other, for some odd reason, they're gonna have a good enough game to slow down the passing attack of the Seahawks. I think that game will come down to
I can see that.
A field goal, and I'm gonna say the score would be 30. It's tough because I'm sitting there thinking like the matchups. That's what I'm sitting there thinking in my mind. So it's tough to just throw a number out there. So I said it'd come down to a field goal. So let's just say 30-33. Let's just say 30-33. But I think that game's gonna come down to 3 points because the Cardinals actually play a fast-paced style of football, and at home, running against the Seahawks defense is everyday shit. It's a divisional game. You can familiar. You at home, so it's a comfort level to it.
So you say Cardinals, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Cardinals by 3 at home.
To me, I believe that the Cardinals can do enough, but I mean, I'm just gonna ride with the wave of Geno right now, just because I think that his weapons show face for him a little bit more. Like prime example, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong at any time, but I haven't really seen Marvin Harrison Jr. like that. Not even on highlights. I haven't really seen him like that do something spectacular or anything like we put it. I mean, goddamn, he was supposed to be the best wide receiver in the draft. And when we had this conversation, we're talking about how Malik Nabers got the best numbers by far. So with that being said, I'm going to stick with Geno and Tyler Lockett and those guys, and I'm going to go with Geno Smith and them getting the job done. Field goal, just like you said, Jack. But my score is going to be 27-30. All right, next one. Here go a game where the Bears should dominate. And I'm going to start with you, Jack. Bears versus the 49ers, and the game is in San Fran.
Sheesh. I'm gonna say Bears because the 49ers is just too banged up. Like the guys that you would need to get over the hump against them, you don't have. So even though you're at home, home field advantage would help them out a little bit. Like they'll start off, I think they'll kind of like keep pace, and then the Bears just gonna separate because I mean the Bears running game is just too much to contend with. They proved that on Thanksgiving Day against the Lions. I mean they was doing whatever they wanted, bro. They was, gashing the Lions, and that's fucking hard to do. 49ers. Right now, they're not playing their best brand of football defensively or otherwise, for that matter. But I'm gonna say the Bears, and I don't think that's gonna be a high-scoring game either. I don't. I think that the 49ers are going to move the ball, but scoring will definitely be at a minimal. So I'll say 14, like 14-20. It's
So
gonna
you
be a
going
tight
to
game.
Bears? You going to Bears, right?
Yes, Bears.
All right. Go ahead, JP.
With the 49ers, reason being, they just got fired on Sunday Night Football. And over the years, when they have a bad showing, they always come back and play well. Yes, they're banged up, but they're going against the Chicago Bears. They're not going against the Bills or the Chiefs. So the Bears are still a subpar team. Yes, Caleb is fun to watch, his box office, but they still got issues on defense themselves. I think Shanahan will do enough to dial it up and move the ball against them. Now defense will do enough to get the win. So I'm going to go San Francisco. I'm going to go 24-17.
I'm gonna go with the Bears just because even though both teams suck and they on the losing thing, the Bears look a little bit more hungry. Like prime example, they're coming off that loss against the Lions, where they very well could have won. I know they gonna feel their feast. Like, all right, man, we got the pieces. Look how we took it down to the end of the wire with a team like that. So I feel like they're gonna come in there and it's gonna be a nasty looking game. But I got the Bears winning. I'm gonna go 27-14. 27. No, matter of fact, 27-13. I don't think the 49ers really gonna do that much on offense. And this is where the game where this game right here should be the best game of the year for the Chicago Bears. All right, next one. I'm gonna play spoiler on this one, but next game, JP, who you got out of the Bills and Rams?
I'm going to go with the upset and go with the Rams because the Bills, every time they have a great showing, they always come black. It happened every year. Even though they only got 2 losses, whether they won the game and they didn't look, it looked like shit, or like when they beat the shit out of Jacksonville, what happened when they played us. So it's just like I'm gonna go with the Rams and a tight, close game. I'm gonna go 30-27 Rams.
All right, Jack, it's on you.
I'm gonna say Bills. I don't think their momentum is gonna slow down, but I don't think I do agree with you, JP, that it's not gonna be like no blowout. I'm gonna say Bills in a tight one. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say this is also gonna be a 3-point game. So 3 scores. 4 scores. 28-30.
I like that. I can lie. I can see that happen. I can definitely see the Bills winning. But me, man, I'm riding with the team I play with on Madden right now. I'm riding with the Matt Stafford trade. I think they're gonna be sneaky and surprising. I mean, they 6-6. There's not no team that's just playing to be playing. They do got what playoff sights in their vision and shit. So I'm gonna go in a nail biter type game. Give me the Bills winning 31-24. And this game, Josh Allen just plays bad, but it's still going to be a close game, 31-24. All right, we got 2 more games, and then we up out of here. Division game, Chargers and Chiefs. Who you got, Jack?
I think this will be the Chiefs' second loss. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I think that one thing I do know about Harbaugh, he makes changes immediately wherever he lands, and ain't no doubt in my mind that he ain't been watching these guys all year long to see what they do bad, and he won't allow lightning to strike twice. So I'm gonna take the Chargers in a victory in a tight divisional game. I think their offense is just going to do more than Patrick Mahomes on this particular day. And I think this one will be high scoring. So I'm going to say 28-31.
Not bad. What about you, JP?
I'm taking the Chargers too for two reasons. Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. Best way to beat the Chiefs, you can rush with 4, and who has a better pass rush than them.
And Jawan Taylor's some ass, bro. My bad. I just had to throw that in there, yo. He terrible, bro.
But yeah, just they gonna get after Mahomes. Like I said, they really should have lost. They got one loss. They really should have 4. I'm gonna go with the Chargers in a tight game. I'm gonna go 27-24.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. I gotta piggyback over what both of y'all said. First of all, JP, you put some knowledge in my head when you said Bosa and Khalil Mack. When I looked up the little thing a long time ago when they got Ashanti Samuels, they said they were building their team to go against the Chiefs. That's why they got both of those guys and got Ashanti Samuels Jr. in the draft that had a corner because they thought they was going to be dealing with Tyreek Hill for the rest of their career. So I'm going to go with this is the game that I think the Chiefs need to lose. You feel me? Because if they continue to go on and on, it's going to be that heartbreaking loss in the playoffs where the whole team get destroyed. So I think you can take this loss and still build yourself to get to the AFC Championship if it's possible. But I'm going with the Chargers getting the job done in a nasty fucking win. I think the Chargers are going to win this game like 31-13. I think that the defense is going to be all over top of their ass. I think it's going to be one of those. Matter of fact, I think this is going to be the only other blowout I said was the Eagles game, but I'm going with that. Now, here go the last game that we don't give a shit about. We hate both teams. Go ahead, Jack. I'll let you start it off. Bengals and Cowboys game is in Dallas.
The Bengals are going to beat the hell out of them. They're going to do to Dallas what they should have did on yesterday. Score. Damn, Dallas really don't have nothing in the cupboard. This might actually be a blowout. I think the Bengals might actually blow them out.
Can't wait to hear.
I'm going to say 31-10.
I respect it. Go ahead, JP. I can respect it. I can see that too.
42-17 Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going being the same round as y'all. I'm going to go with since they should have scored 44. They're going to score 44 this week, and I think the Dallas Cowboys is only going to score 10. So I'm going with the Bengals winning 44-10. All right, that's the last game of the night, fellas.
Oh man, great show. Thank you, Jeff, for coming on. You definitely wrote knowledge of sports and other subjects as well. Y'all know what I would say. Make sure y'all check this out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. I'm gonna post this on and show a couple clips. Co-host, go ahead, do your thing, man.
Hey, man, as always, man, it's a pleasure to do this shit with Big Bro, man. We've been doing this shit strong now since, 2020, 2019. And been in this game, getting it in for a long time. Positive sports talk, you feel me? And reality sports talk. Sports talk, not that fanboy shit. Everything we spit on here is pretty much facts. And you see we try to correct ourselves every time. So as always, if you're looking for me, you can find me on Facebook. My name is Maurice Savage Jr. If you can't find me on Facebook, which I know you will, you can find me on Instagram, I_AM_the Pharaoh. And besides that, every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. with my man right there, Big Jack, you can find me doing the podcast called They Be Talking, where we talk about high-level conversations and we get real deep in depth when we talk about these things. And go ahead, Jack, clean it up and say what you want to say.
No, man, I just appreciate y'all for having me, man. Like I said, sports is my that's my peace, that's my zen. So you know what I mean. Anytime I can get on and talk about anything sports, it's therapeutic. So I appreciate y'all for having me, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you for hopping on, man. Definitely. And I want to say, man, make sure that'll be great on the way to the figure 8 and always. Remember, it's the name of the podcast, KTSC. Keep that same energy from your host, Justin P. $1 million co-host, Mr. Maurice Savage Jr., and our very special guest, who I'm pretty sure he's going to be on here a few more times, before the year's out. Mr. Jack Gaines, like I said, I check them out tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I tune in when I can. It's great stuff. Y'all not going to be disappointed. Y'all have an amazing Tuesday night. Watch the NBA games and all that stuff like that. We'll see y'all next Monday. Same time, same time. We're out.
For sure.
Peace out, baby.